Now that the ghosts and ghouls are in hibernation until next year, it's that time of the year to give thanks to all the movies and shows that'll give you a good reason to excuse yourself from the dinner table this holiday season. Stay right there. Extra Butter Please is coming right up. Welcome to Extra Butter Please. I'm your host, Sydney Jackson. It's only fitting that we kick off this holiday season with America's Dad, Tom Hanks. His new film here re-teams him with his Castaway director with a story that spans generations in one singular space.
Time sure does fly, doesn't it?
Sure does.
Based on the 2014 graphic novel by Richard McGuire, Here takes a simple yet innovative approach to its filmmaking by taking a locked-off camera angle to tell a generational story about families in the special place they inhabit, sharing in love, loss, laughter, and life.
This was our home. We lived here.
Here lands in theaters on November 1st. Clint Eastwood has had a long storied career behind the camera as much as he's had in front of it. And his next directorial effort, rumored to be his last film, doesn't look to disappoint.
It was last October. It was raining, and I hit something. I got out the car and I looked around. I checked, I didn't see anything, and I figured it was a deer that ran off.
Family man Justin Kemp, while serving as a juror in a high-profile murder trial, finds himself struggling with a serious moral dilemma, one he could use to sway the jury verdict and potentially convict or free the wrong killer.
Maybe I didn't hit a deer.
Let me just ask you one thing. Did you guys ever look at any other suspect? You know what to do.
Juror number 2 makes its verdict on November 1st. Citadel is continuing to expand their universe with the Bollywood-inspired action thriller Citadel Honey Bunny.
Listen to the song and don't come out.
When stuntman Bunny recruits struggling actress Honey for a side gig, they're hurled into a high-stakes world of action, espionage, and betrayal. Years later, as their dangerous past catches up, the estranged Honey and Bunny must reunite and fight to protect their young daughter, Nadia.
Nadia, ये तुम्हारे पापा Bunny.
I don't hug.
High five.
Everyone's dying or getting killed. I'm still a kid, you know.
Citadel Honey Bunny kicks its way onto Prime Video on November 7th. Now, there's always a bit of danger when you're knocking door to door to sell something or trying to convert someone. Well, that's the predicament we find our two main characters in the horror thriller Heretic.
Good afternoon. Mr. Reed, are you interested in learning more about the Church of Jesus Christ?
Yeah.
Wow. No, you read more than we do. No, seriously, Mr. Reed. Mr. Reed.
Well, ladies, I think it is time.
Time for what?
Time for enlightenment.
Oh.
When two missionaries of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints attempt to convert a man, it turns out to be far more dangerous than they could have ever anticipated.
What have you been looking for? What have you found?
Scary.
Starring Hugh Grant, Heretic invites you in on November 8th. Arcane was released to widespread acclaim, with praise directed at its animation, story, world building, action sequences, characters, emotional weight, and voice acting. So it's honestly a bit of an understatement to say that the series' appeal to both casual viewers who've never played League of Legends and longtime fans of the game believe that the second season is highly anticipated.
You were right, Kate. My sister is gone. There's only Jinx now.
I want to tear that laugh from her throat forever.
I'm ready.
Amidst the escalating unrest between the rich utopian city of Piltover and the seedy, oppressed underbelly of Zaun, sisters Vi and Jinx find themselves embroiled in a developing conflict over clashing convictions and arcane technologies.
The Arcane is waking up.
Sometimes taking a leap forward means leaving a few things behind.
This has to end.
Then stop me.
Arcane Season 2 hits Netflix on November 9th. Stay right there. We got more Xtra Butter Please coming up right after this.
I only had a 29% chance to find a blood stem cell donor, but then we matched. Dear donor, we beat leukemia. Thank you forever and ever.
Save a life at nmdp.org.
Novelist Jane Patterson's book series starring Detective Alex Cross has been a #1 hit for decades, even being immortalized on the big screen by Morgan Freeman. Now, the character comes to the small screen this month in the Prime Video series.
I don't kill for fun. You're gonna be part of a masterpiece. And when I'm done, the world will know the truth.
The series follows Alex Cross, a detective, forensic psychologist, doting father, and family man who is obsessive in digging into the minds of killers and victims in order to identify the victims and catch the killers.
But you can call me Detective Alex Cross.
You think you can stop him?
I know I can. Because I know him better than he knows himself.
Aldous Hodge is Cross, coming to Prime Video on November 14th. We switch over to Peacock for another book-to-series adaptation with the cat and mouse thriller, The Day of the Jackal.
Who's the target?
My clients need to know if you think it's possible.
It'll cost.
The Jackal is an elusive assassin who makes his living carrying out hits for the highest fee. He soon meets his match in a tenacious British intelligence officer who tracks him down in a thrilling cat and mouse chase across Europe.
I will find him and I will kill him myself.
One man is not worth all this loss. I like to win.
So do I.
Starring Eddie Redmayne and Lashana Lynch, The Day of the Jackal takes aim on Peacock on November 14th. Thanksgiving isn't even here yet, but it's never too early to get started with our Christmas watch list. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson hits theaters this month with the Christmas action comedy Red One.
Last night, Red One, also known as St. Nicholas of Myra, was abducted.
Are you saying Santa Claus has been kidnapped?
After Santa Claus, codename Red One, is kidnapped, the North Pole's head of security must team up with the world's most infamous bounty hunter in a globe-trotting, action-packed mission to save Christmas.
We got snowmen!
That was so disturbing.
Red One hits theaters everywhere on November 15th. Dune Part 2 was released earlier this year with critical praise and financial success. Now, the Dune universe is expanding with the HBO original series Dune Prophecy.
The sisterhood draws women from many worlds to advance our species and govern the future. The Imperium is fragile. The great houses fight for control. Now is the time to secure the throne and protect the Imperium.
Based on the novel Sisterhood of Dune, Dune Prophecy is set 10,000 years before the events of Dune. The series follows sisters Valia and Tula Harkonnen as they combat forces that threaten the future of humanity and establish the fabled sect known as the Bene Gesserit.
Take out your blade.
This is madness.
The reckoning is here.
Dune Prophecy debuts on Max on November 17th. Stay right there. When we come back, Ridley Scott returns for a sequel to his Oscar-winning film that's been over 20 years in the making. And a Broadway classic comes to the big screen with the origins of A Wicked Witch. Extra Butter Please will be back soon.
This place that I call home.
Explain it to her.
American playwright August Wilson has had many of his stage plays translated to the big screen, most recently with Fences, directed by and starring Denzel Washington. Well, he's passed on that legacy to his sons with the Netflix film The Piano Lesson.
You feel that?
Set in 1936 Pittsburgh during the aftermath of the Great Depression, The Piano Lesson follows the lives of the Charles family and an heirloom, the family piano, that tells the history of their family from engraved carvings by an enslaved ancestor. Directed by Malcolm Washington and starring his brother John David Washington, The Piano Lesson debuts on November 22nd on Netflix. After the success of Gladiator back in 2000, the film that won Russell Crowe his Academy Award for Best Actor, a sequel was discussed as early as June 2001. Now, over 2 decades later, the sequel to the Oscar-winning film is set to hit theaters everywhere.
I remember that day. I never forgot it. That a slave could take revenge against an emperor.
Where were you born?
I don't know. I never knew a mother nor a father.
You will be my instrument.
Who are you?
After his home is conquered by the tyrannical emperors who now lead Rome, Lucius is forced to enter the Colosseum and must look to his past to find strength to return the glory of Rome to its people.
I don't fight for power. I fight the free road for men like them.
Your name will be forgotten.
To restore order, I must have power.
Everything is forgotten in time. Empires fall, so do emperors.
This is war.
The Coliseum opens up for Gladiator 2 on November 22nd. After 2 decades as one of the most beloved and enduring musicals on the stage, Wicked makes its long-awaited journey to the big screen as a spectacular, generation-defining, 2-part cinematic event this holiday season.
The best way to bring folks together
Something has changed within me.
is to give them a real good enemy.
You're green. I am. Set in the land of Oz, largely before Dorothy's arrival from Kansas, the plot covers the events of the musical's first act following green-skin Elphaba's studies at Shiz University, and the beginning of her path to ultimately becoming the Wicked Witch of the West, alongside an unlikely friendship and later rivalry with a classmate who later becomes Glinda the Good.
This wicked witch. Don't be afraid. It's the wizard who should be afraid of me.
The wizard that there.
Starring Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, Wicked flies into theaters everywhere on November 22nd. Moana is returning to the big screen this month with the sequel to the highly successful first film.
You wanted to come this time.
After receiving an unexpected call from her wayfinding ancestors, Moana journeys to the far seas of Oceania and into the dangerous, long-lost waters for an adventure unlike anything she has ever faced.
You will be destroyed, and your wayfinder too.
Now I kind of miss the lava monster.
Ow! Ow!
What if you don't come back?
I'll be back. I promise.
Moana 2 sails into theaters everywhere on November 27th. Don't go anywhere. We got all the hottest movies and TV series coming to you this December when Xtra Butter Please returns.
Every minute counts in a poison emergency. That's why Poison Help is standing by 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in over 100 languages. Save Poison Help as a contact in your phone today. Call your local Poison Center at 1-800-222-1222.
We return to a galaxy far, far away with the latest Disney Plus Star Wars series, Skeleton Crew.
What are you in for? What are you in for?
I found something buried in the woods.
Dad.
This is unacceptable. Do you understand?
The series follows 4 children who end up on an adventure to make their way home after being lost in the galaxy following a discovery they make on their home planet.
A crew of murderous pirates is coming.
Something's wrong.
They're not going to just turn up. We need to find them.
Be warned of booby traps. Pirates and mountains where none dare to go.
If you hear this, don't give up.
Starring Jude Law, Skeleton Crew flies onto Disney Plus on December 3rd. Remember back at the turn of the millennium when we were all freaking out about the Y2K bug setting us back to the Stone Age? Yeah, fun times. Well, the new film Y2K takes a satirical look back to that memorable time.
In a few hours, you have an excuse to kiss the girl of your dreams. Open up. Take us away. So smooth.
Two high school nobodies make the decision to crash the last major celebration before the new millennium on New Year's Eve, 1999. The night becomes even crazier than they could have ever dreamed when the clock strikes midnight.
Oh, shit. A Tamagotchi just drilled through a chick's head. Come on, we gotta go.
Oh, let's go. Y2K invades theaters everywhere on December 6th. Sony just recently released their third Venom film in their shared Marvel universe, closing out that trilogy. Now, the studio is back to introduce us to another popular Spider-Man villain, getting his big screen debut.
My son, never show mercy. They are prey.
Kraven's complex relationship with his ruthless father starts him down a path of vengeance with brutal consequences, motivating him to become not only the greatest hunter in the world, but also one of its most feared.
I heard the noise of thunder.
Are you like your father? A gangster? A killer?
And I heard a voice. You're just another man. Whoever is righteous, hunting for a trophy. Let him be righteous too. Just like our father. When the man comes around.
Kraven the Hunter rips its way into theaters on December 13th.
When the man comes around.
Lord of the Rings is making its way back to the big screen with a new anime film hitting theaters this December.
All Middle-earth knows the tale of the War of the Ring. But 200 years before that,
Riders of the Mark! Brothers of Rohan!
there was an older tale.
Arise!
Set 183 years before the events of the Lord of the Rings film trilogy, The War of the Rohirrim tells the story of Helm Hammerhand, a legendary king of Rohan, and his family as they defend their kingdom against an army of Dunlending.
You think I am afraid of you?
You should be.
Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim lands in theaters on December 13th. The Lion King is one of the most beloved Disney animated movies of all time. So much that a 2019 sort of live-action remake was released to the tune of $1 billion. After that type of success, you know a sequel is not too far down the pipeline.
Mufasa and the prince who would come to be known as Scar became brothers.
Hello, what's your name?
Mufasa.
I told you to wait for me. We can't just leave him here.
Rules are rules, Taka. The king will never accept a stray. I'm not a stray. I'm just lost.
The story follows the orphan Mufasa, who was befriended by the young Prince Taka and adopted by Taka's family. The pair become as close as brothers.
Mufasa! This was a bad idea! We're alive! I did it! I saved us!
You were saying?
Mufasa the Lion King roars into theaters on December 20th. We're not done yet. When Xtra Butter Please returns, Sonic the Hedgehog faces his toughest nemesis yet. And the original vampire comes back to scare us this Christmas. Stay right there. Xtra Butter Please, we'll be right back.
Going to cheerleading camp next to the abandoned insane asylum, it's like throwing good blood away.
50% of Americans like watching blood get spilled in horror movies, but only 3% donate it. Now that's scary.
Nicole Kidman has been on fire lately, gracing us with her presence on the big screen and the small screen. She returns this holiday season with erotic thriller, Baby Girl.
Being a CEO means being a collaborator and a nurturer.
Don't you have to be at work?
Everyone is just waiting for me to buckle under the pressure.
Is now a good time to introduce the interns?
Yeah. The film explores the complexities of power dynamics and sexuality within a professional setting as a high-ranking CEO embarks on a forbidden romance with a captivating intern who is significantly younger.
Oh, hey, you forgot your laptop at the office.
Mom, can Mary sleep over?
You want to stop?
You seem liberated.
I've never experienced anything like this.
Good girl.
Baby Girl hits theaters everywhere on December 20th. Let's drastically switch gears from erotic thriller to Sonic 3. That lovable, mischievous hedgehog is back, but this time he may have met his match.
There's been a high-level security breach. And we need Team Sonic's immediate assistance. Project Shadow is far beyond anything we've ever encountered.
Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails reunite against a powerful new enemy, Shadow, a mysterious villain with powers unlike anything they've faced before. With their abilities outmatched, Team Sonic must seek out an unlikely alliance.
This is a bad idea.
When has that ever stopped me?
Doctor! We have visitors.
This is sad, Robotnik. Even for you.
We need your help.
When we're done, there won't be anything left.
Hey, no cheat code!
What did you do? What I had to.
Starring Jim Carrey with the voice talents of Ben Schwartz, Idris Elba, and Keanu Reeves, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 speeds into theaters on November 20th. We have another biopic hitting the screens on Christmas Day in the world of boxing with the sports biopic, The Fire Inside.
When you gonna rip the Nike?
Soon, bruh, soon.
What's this?
That good protein.
Can I at least have some fries?
Coach Jason say no French fries.
The film tells the story of Clarissa T-Rex Shields, a boxer from Flint, Michigan, who trained to become the first woman in her country's history to win an Olympic gold medal in the sport. Directed by cinematographer Rachel Morrison in her directorial debut, known for her work with Ryan Coogler on Fruitvale Station, Creed, and Black Panther.
Seen more of your 16 years than most people seen in their entire lifetime. I want you to take that fire inside of you and turn it into something good.
Hey, yo, you represent out there. Show 'em how we do it in Flint.
The Fire Inside punches its way into theaters on Christmas Day. Robert Eggers returns to the big screen with Nosferatu, a remake of the 1922 German film, which in turn was based on Bram Stoker's 1897 novel, Dracula.
Come to me. Come to me.
Described as a passion project for Eggers, Nosferatu is a gothic tale of obsession between a haunted young woman and the terrifying vampire infatuated with her, causing untold horror in its wake. Nosferatu creeps its way into theaters on Christmas Day. Well, I'm all out of time. If you'd like to be part of the show, make sure to email us at extrabutterplease1@gmail.com. Until then, I'll see you in the theaters.